So Curry Barker has just released Obsession. It's in theaters, and I think currently it's made $24 million, I think, and the budget for that movie was $1 million. And if we take the standard 2.5x, you have to make to break even when you make a movie. It's budget, and I mean not only the budget for making the movie, but also the costs for advertising it and also distributing it, I think. So if they make $2.5 million, I think they have broken even, and if like all the rest of the cash, I think it's just pure profit. And it's just been 3 days, and it's already made more than $20 million in profits. And I want to talk about this briefly. It's been on my mind for a long time, ever since I went to the um, the website in Sweden where you can go to the theater. It's called Filmstaden. I checked like upcoming movies, and I saw Obsession. The poster kind of stuck out to me. I might have seen a trailer of it. No, I don't think I saw a trailer of it. I think I saw it by going to the. I'm a big movie fan, and I go to the theater a lot, and I was checking which movies was upcoming, and I saw it, and I was kind of hooked instantly. And then I just read about the director, and I found out he's a YouTuber, and I just want to talk about this for a briefly, because I think that Curry Barker is really changing how the movie. He's really changing the rules within the game of making movies in Hollywood, and I think it's something I just want to reflect on for myself, because my biggest dream in life is to make a movie, a specific movie I want to make, and I think that this is somehow changed. It's proof that you don't really have to do it like other people. So I've spent a lot of time researching about the biggest directors of this time and how they started making movies, like their journey. So how did Christopher Nolan, or how did Stanley Kubrick, or how did Steven Spielberg, or Ridley Scott, or there's so many, Damien Chazelle, like James Cameron. There's so many, and how did they start their journey before, like for example, James Cameron, which is one of my favorites, or Frank Darabont, who made Shawshank Redemption. Like how did James Cameron begin his journey before he made like Titanic? And I will tell you today about the new journey that is possible with Curry Barker as proof. So brief history, like before, you had to make a lot of short films or scripts or anything really to show that you were good at what you're doing, and you did that by you made a short film and you sent it to a festival, and in the festival you got kind of feedback of like, or proof of concept, like are you good at making movies? So it was a lot more like time. It took so much more time because if you have to get really good at making movies, you have to make a lot of movies. So I know one guy, I don't remember who it was. I think it's the person who made the Girl Next Door movie. I might be totally wrong, but some director, I think it was that director. I don't remember his name, but he made a short film. This was way back in like the 80s or 70s, and he made a short film, and then he sent a VHS tape to Steven Spielberg via mail, and Spielberg actually saw it, liked it, and answered him back. And I was like, hey, you're good at making movies, but you have to keep making movies to become even better. So, and it's the same thing if you ask someone like Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast would say, if you want to be a big YouTuber, you have to make a lot of movies, because every YouTube video you make, you get better. And that's kind of the main idea of this video, because to be good at something, to be good at making movies, you have to make a lot of movies. But it's also kind of difficult to get feedback. I mean, you of course can make a movie and you can decide like, was this a good movie or not? But it's also like that's also kind of living in your own head. I mean, some people believe that this will not work. Like I don't remember exactly the case study now, but I think there was like a song. Okay, I think it's Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world. I don't think they believed in that song so much, if I remember it correctly. It might be some other song, but there was some big song that the band didn't believe in, but they still put it on in the album, and then it was the biggest song of the album. So you never really know if it's going to be really good before the market or the people watching or listening to the song or the movie um, like it or not. And this is the feedback you have to get. So once again, before you had YouTube, so for Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, I mean these giants, or Stanley Kubrick, if you want to go even further back, they started making short films, which usually were sent into a festival, and then the festival kind of decided, and then you're kind of competing against other people who's made short films. So your short film is only good compared to the other short films. But that was kind of the only way to know, like, are you good at making movies? And if you were good at making movies, you then like got an opportunity to make a movie. So that's kind of the traditional way. Very simply put, you make short film, you send it to a film festival. If you win the film festival, or like get some recognition from people that have clout in the movie industry at the festival, if it's a very big film festival, like the one in Cannes, for example, then you kind of get this feedback of like, yeah, you're good at making movies, and we'll risk some money on you to see like if you can make this, but in a big scale, because it's the same thing. A short film is just like a feature film, it's just smaller, a small production, smaller budget. But the interesting thing here is how Curry Barker did it. So I want to talk more about him right now. And Curry Barker started with YouTube. If I remember correctly, I think 2021 or 2022 or 2020. I think it's roughly 5 years ago when he started his YouTube channel during the pandemic, sometime during the pandemic. And I've just gotten to like know who Curry Barker is from watching, from finding Obsession myself, from just watching upcoming movies to going to Wikipedia, seeing the director, and then researching about the director. So I went to his YouTube channel. I was kind of stuck. Curry Barker's really been someone I've been very excited to learn more about. It's like I'm being pulled towards him. It's like the universe is trying to tell me something about. Because keep in mind, my big dream is to make one movie, a feature film. And when I realized that, okay, he's a YouTuber, I kind of was just like, oh, wow, okay, I was also a YouTuber. So I was kind of like, okay, I felt a little bit connected to the being a YouTuber part, to making content online. I was a YouTuber. I would say I was a YouTuber from 2014 to 2019, so also for 5 years. But the moment when I kind of started to get this momentum, which I'm going to get to, I quit because of personal reasons. I was in a very, very bad state in my life because of relationship problems, which is the topic of discussion for another video. But I felt really bad about my relationship status in my life, so I quit my YouTube channel. But going back to the idea of like Curry Barker, and if you take a look at his YouTube channel, you see that he's making short films, and some of them are very, very like so simple to make that I think you could probably make them in a day. Of like, you have an idea, you pick up your phone, you record it with a friend, you edit it the same day, and you upload it. And I think that's very, very crucial. That's also a very, very big topic of this. Like it adds to the big topic of this video of like getting feedback, because that's kind of what Curry Barker has gotten. And also when when I started the movie with saying like Obsession has made $20 million plus in profit, I like the most important part of this is not the money, it's that people really like this movie. People pay a ticket to go to the theater, and people will probably talk even more about it. It's very trendy right now. This movie, and it's gotten really great reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. There's a lot of people talking about it online. Like, it's word of mouth gone on a big, like, it's getting bigger. I don't know how big it will get, but it's word of mouth, and you only get word of mouth in the movie industry when you make a great movie. Star Wars was only released in like 30 movie theaters in America. So and a big movie, a big blockbuster like the recent one with Ryan Gosling, or Dune that will come up, or Spider-Man, a Brand New Day that will come up. It's released in thousands of theaters. Yet Star Wars was released in very few select theaters, and then it grew with word of mouth. 80% of why Star Wars is one of the most biggest box office movies of all time is because of word of mouth. People saw it and it was so good, especially people in school. So one person would go see the movie in theaters, and they would think that it's so good, so they referred that movie to basically all of their classmates. And and that's word of mouth, and that's when you get this snowball effect. And you can only really get so. What I'm trying to say is, Obsession is a great movie. It's undeniably a great movie. And when you make a great movie, you're gonna, like, Curry Barker is gonna be like, in terms of the opportunities that he will have, and like the career path he has started to be on right now, he might have endless of opportunities if he just keeps on making good movies. And that's the interesting part here, that he made a great movie, and his future is extremely bright. I mean, the cast he has for the next movie is gonna make anything but ghosts. These are big actors. I'm so glad to see this, and I'm so happy for him. And I want to try to make you understand why I believe that he has gotten to this point, and how you also can get to this point if you want to be and make movies. Okay, so going back to his YouTube channel, so he's made a lot of short films, and I think that the biggest obstacle for people is it takes. I think it's. I think there are different types of phases you're in. One phase is you don't even start, like you don't even make a script or make a short film. That's the majority of the people. Like they don't even start to try and do it. And then the next phase is you make your first short film, but you give up. Like you start to actually do it, but you give up before it's finished because it takes too much time. It's the challenge is too high for you. Your skill level is too low to be able to make a good movie. Like you have too much to learn, and it's just too much time. It's usually like a time barrier, so you give up. And then the next phase is okay, you make a movie, you upload your first movie, and that's great. But then you quit after that. After you made your first film, because you thought it was so bad, or like it was not good at all. Because once again, you have only like done one short film. And then the next phase is like, okay, you make your second short film, and you realize that, okay, this is a long-term game. I was so naive before. This is where I am at. So I've made 2 short films on YouTube. One is not uploaded yet, but I made 2 short films, and I realized it kind of became like a realization that it is a long-term game. I will not be good at making movies if I don't keep doing this for a long time, and I learn from every single movie that I make. And I think that the first like important lesson from Curry Barker on YouTube is that he has made a lot of short, very very short films that are very simple that you can make in one day. So I think it's basically like this. He has an idea of a movie. And one of the movies was like a really, really funny prank. He has this funny idea, like, this is so funny, this is so crazy. And then he has like this friend of his that he met in film school, I think. It's like, let's just do this. And no like, to try to remove all barriers that might arise before like making a movie. So he's like, okay, I have this idea, let's just do this. And then they call a friend and they're at home and like there's no preparation, there's just no script, nothing, just do this. It's a very short film, it's like a minute long. And then they record it first try, no second shoots, just a first try. They go to the editing room, they kind of edit it super quickly, don't overthink it, upload it. So you can do that, all of that in one day. Now, this is a very simple movie. This is not a movie that's going to change his life. At least not at the time. In the future, yes. But not at the time. But the thing that happens is he learns so much from that simple thing. He sits down and makes a short film and uploads it to YouTube and gets feedback. From having like the inception of an idea to getting feedback from comments, to like this, and also not from comments, from likes and views, and people's you kind of start to realize, okay, would people, and I think the best indication is like how good is the video going, what is the views, what are the comments, what is the likes, the statistics basically. Because if you make a great movie, you will get a lot of views, you will get a lot of likes, you will get a lot of comments. It's that simple. If you don't get any views, it's because your videos are not good. This video, for example, probably not get more than 1 view, and that would be me, because this is not a great video yet. I'm having trouble talking and being clear in what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of like, you probably have to watch this video 1.25x to try and to even want to stay with this video. But I would never learn all of this. And by learning, I don't mean like in your head. I mean by doing it. That's completely different. Of thinking you know something, but then actually doing it and actually working. There's only one way for me to be able to make good videos on YouTube. It's by doing this video, even though I know that it sucks. I know that the idea is interesting, but the way I'm presenting it's not great. But the only way for me to fix and become better talking and being able to convey my message is by doing this. And that's exactly what Kubrick Barker is doing. He has a very short, he can not only, there's so many aspects of making a film. It's like the act, I made two short films. I kind of have an okay knowledge of like an understanding of how it works. There's the acting part, it's the script part, it's the idea part, which is the most important part. It's the editing, it's the camera angles. There's so many aspects, lighting. There's so many aspects of making a film that it's impossible to that's why people quit so early. Because it takes too much time. There's just too many things that you realize, okay, I'm so bad at lighting, I'm so bad at camera angles, I'm so bad. But the main important thing is the idea. And that's the interesting part, because Kubrick Barker, Obsession, once again, is a great movie. People are saying it's the best movie of this year. I mean, that's a crazy statement, knowing that this year, first of all, there are movies that has $500 million in budget. I mean, that's 500x the budget. And not only budget-wise, I'm talking about time-wise. Some directors that are making, I mean, Ridley Scott, for example, he's releasing a movie this year with one of the actors from Euphoria. I don't remember the title of the movie, but Ridley Scott, and I know that movie has not been published yet, but still, the idea of Ridley Scott has made movies his entire life. I think he's 80 years old, and people still think that Obsession is better. Now there's a big debate about talking about that, and I understand that, but just the idea that we have somebody who's made movies for a lifetime or many decades at least, and then we have this young kid who's like 27 years old or something, and he makes a movie with $1 million budget and that makes $20 million profit in one weekend, and it's still like the spreading the word of mouth, but also it's a great movie. That's what I care about. It's a great movie. That's what you also care about. Like when you go to the movie theater, you want to watch a great movie. Now, this is so interesting, this idea, that how has Kubrick Barker taken the shortcut being 5 years? But still, taking a look at people, at the end of this year, some people will probably say that Obsession is the best movie of this year, at least on top. And the idea that it's compared against the options or the alternatives, movies that has hundreds of millions of dollars in budget, and people behind them that have worked in this industry for decades. Some people even a lifetime. It's crazy. That's probably might be the thumbnail. I mean the title of this video, because it's such a crazy idea. And that idea makes me want to make this video. That's what makes me excited, because why does this happen? Because Kubrick Barker's made a lot of films on YouTube, which he has gotten feedback and then perfected. And I think that the most important aspect of Obsession is the idea and the characters and the story, the challenges, or the outcome, or I mean, like, it's talking in movie terms, like the idea of the story. And that is the big and most important part of a movie. And Kubrick Barker, this is not his first idea. He has had so many countless ideas before this. Some ideas he has made a YouTube video about, and seen like, do people want to see this? Do people find this interesting or not? And so that's one of the like first lessons: quantity and very short and simple films. Because what do Kubrick Barker get from making a film that takes 1 day to make? It might have taken him longer. Don't get me wrong, but I think that you could make a video like that in 1 day. If you take a look at like a prank video he made, which is very, very simple, and it looks like it took 1 day for them to make it. He gets an idea and he's like, okay, I want to test this idea. It's the exact same thing as like, you have a business idea and you want to test it, and in your head it's $1 billion idea, but you want to test it, and you test that by putting it in the market. And if people start buying it, then you have you have an interesting idea here. It's just like Facebook, or the social network, if we're talking in movie terms, is a great example of this. Mark Zuckerberg made Face Smash in the beginning of that movie, which is actually a real story. And there was no marketing. It was just a product he coded in one night that he sent via email to some people, and then it spread via word of mouth because it was a great idea, a great product that people find interesting. And the same thing with Facebook. So you can have a great idea, but to really know if it's a great idea, you have to put it in the market. And if it is a good idea, you will get, for example, on YouTube, you will get a lot of views. Or if you have like a startup idea of a business, you will get people purchasing. They will order from you, will buy your deal if your deal is good. You can think that you have a good deal if we're talking business terms now, but you will never know if this is a good deal until people start buying or not. So the data, the metrics you get from doing outreach and seeing like, okay, if I do 100 outreach, how many people do positive replies? How many people buy? That's how you know you have a good offer or not. The only way to know if you have a good offer. And it's the same thing with movies on YouTube. If you want to get a lot of views, you have to make a lot of films. I'm not telling you this from experience, even though I have experience. I've had another YouTube channel which has gotten a very small success. But I'm talking about what Mr. Beast says, the biggest YouTuber in the world. He says, it's so simple. The advice is so simple. And that's what I think infuriates people. If you don't get views on YouTube, you're not making a good video. Simple as that. There's nothing other than it's the truth. And you only get good at making videos on YouTube by making a lot of videos. Mr. Beast, the world's biggest YouTuber, has made so many videos we can't even understand. Okay? And that's also like falling in love with the process. I mean, that's a totally different discussion, but also interesting. Like, very few people would keep doing so many videos like Kubrick Barker, but that's because they don't love what they're doing. So if you don't love the process of making something and then making it better, you're in the wrong business, my friend. Then you're not doing what you love to do and what you're made to do. But it's a discussion for another video. But it's very interesting and important as well to talk about the giving up, because that's what's also separates people from Kubrick Barker and other people who wants to be like him. They give up. But I think if you are the first lesson, once again, and a very, very important lesson, he makes so short films. very very short films. And I'm making this video as a mental note for myself that I have to make like a scene, one scene, and it has to be so simple that I can just post an ad in a website in Sweden where I can get actors today, and also that is that is for free. Like I don't pay them anything, and I don't even have to write a script. I'm gonna kind of just I'm basically there are so many things that will stop you from making movies, and the process is like, first of all you have an idea, but then you have to get the idea on paper. You have to write a script. This is where people give up. They can't even. It's too much for them. And then after that, you have to find, if you have a script, which takes a lot of time to make a great script if you're just starting out. To make a really good script, which is kind of if Obsession was a bad script, it's a bad movie. Obsession is a great movie because it's a great script. But to be able to make great scripts, you have to make write many scripts. But the important part is not the script in itself. The important part is the idea, the understanding of, like, you have to have good characters. You have to have plot points. So when I see a movie, I see that after like 20 minutes or 15 minutes, I see plot point. If there's no plot point, people lose their interest. So for example, in Obsession, the plot point is the main character wishes that Nikki, the main female actress in the movie, is in love with him. That's the plot point. So that's something he has learned by doing. Probably he might have read about it, but something that he's learned about. He needs to know about all of these things in a movie that to make a great script. And the important part here is you wanna learn by doing, and you learn by doing a lot. Just like, think about it like you're playing basketball, and how do you get good at basketball? You play a lot of basketball. But I think that this is where people give up, because they want to make, and I've been there myself, I want to make one short film, and it takes me 2 months to make. 2 months. Now I'm not working full time. I have a job, but still 2 months of my time, and it takes so much time. It actually costs me money, and there's so much obstacles for me that I'm feeling this. I'm so bad, and then the movie's so bad because it's the first short film I made. So I'm like, I'm gonna give up. I'm done with this. It's too much. The challenge is too big for me, and it takes too much time, and I give up. But that's the thing. You have to make a very very short, simple scene. Look at Kubrick's videos, and you will see that a lot of the films is very 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 short. Because if he makes that, he will see, does this work? Or do people want to watch this? And then most of the time they're going to realize, no, this is boring. I don't care about this. It's not interesting, which will happen 99% of the time. But then he will learn it. So the next video he will make, and when he has an idea, he will have this foundation of knowledge because he has actually made the film and uploaded it and gotten feedback. So now the next film he want to make, maybe even the second day after he uploaded that, if he has some subscribers, he's going to be like, okay, I know why this didn't work. It's going to be micro things in the film that has to be fixed. And it's like, okay, I know why this didn't work. I know that this was not like something wasn't interesting here. And then he will fix that for the next video. And then there will be something else. And he will keep doing this for he did that for 5 years. And then he got to the point where he actually started making longer films. But that is when he was very confident in what he was doing. He was confident in dialogue. He was confident in building characters. He was confident in building an obstacle and having an outcome in the story. The classic hero's journey. He was confident by doing so many short films. So that is exactly what you have to do if you want to be, if you want to make movies in 2026. You want to be the new Steven Spielberg, and you want to do it in a way where you don't give up. Because I think that is where I told you about the phases before. I'm in the phase where I made 2 movies, and I've kind of gotten to a point where like this, it takes too much time, and I'm too bad at it, and I don't want to continue. Or I want to continue, but it's just it just doesn't feel good anymore. Because I'm so bad at it. I only made 2 short films. I'm kind of cringing at my. This is so bad. But in the back of my head, before I made the film, it's like, this is an amazing idea. And that's the funny part. I think that's what happens to all of us. We have an idea, and like, this is an amazing, $1 billion idea. You execute it, and then you realize, this is a shitty idea. Sorry for my French. So you have to make it so simple to try your ideas. That is what Kubrick did. He had an idea. He also kind of followed what he made him excited. He made movies that he liked to see. So in the same time, he's obviously right now most interested in horror movies. So he's watching horror movies, and but also watching other people. It's like, I don't like that. I heard about it in an interview with him, and he said like, I see the horror movies people make these days, and I don't like them. And I believe that why these horror movies that people are making that are bad is because these people have not gotten enough practice. They have not learned these things, which Kerry Barker has learned by making short films on YouTube. So the idea of you making, if you, so I'm going to try to sum of it all up, because I think I've touched on the most important parts about Kerry Barker. But I'm going to try to sum it all up now. If you are, so I'm going to talk about it in my perspective. So I want to make a feature film. I have an idea about a feature film I really want to make, and I really want to make a movie that goes in the movie theaters. That it's an important message. I think that movie could change people's lives for the better. It's about love. It's about love when you're in high school. It's about friendships. I think it's basically my life up until now, and the things I've learned, and I would want to tell my kids. Basically, and what it's been the most important things that have happened in my life, which is relationships. Basically, relationships are the core. So I want to make that movie, right? But I know that I will not be able to make a great movie, even though I think that I have kind of a good idea, if I don't like kind of learn the art of making a movie. So the best way, I believe, the absolute best way, by far, the cheapest way, the fastest way, but also like the way that will actually make you super good at making movies. So I'm not talking about a shortcut here. It is a shortcut, but it's a shortcut that will though make you great, like Kubrick Barker making movies. It's not a guarantee, 100% not. If the thing is trial and error. If you fail, you learn, and then the next film is better. It's kind of stacks on top of each other. It's like an exponential. So the best thing for me to do, if I want to do this, is start a YouTube channel and make short films. Now, I've done this, but the problem for me has been I've been overcomplicating things and making things much more difficult than they have to be. It's taken me 2 months for a film. It takes me like 2 weeks to write the script. It takes me 2 weeks to kind of get actors on board. It takes me 2 weeks to record and then kind of settle down. It takes me 2 weeks to edit the thing. And I still think I need more time. What I have to do is, I have an idea. So I go back to, I have a YouTube channel and I want to do like Kubrick Barker did. I get an idea like, I think this is a great movie. But I know that, okay, I have to make this idea so simple as possible, so I can make it in one scene, in one room, and it can't be difficult. Like, it has to be I can record it today. So I have an idea, and I'm gonna use my phone, and I'm gonna record, and I'm gonna be able to have to be able to get actors in like 20 or friends. Is usually he work with his friends, which I think is very smart. You have to kind of find people that are on the same path or in the same, want to be on the same journey as you in the terms of like wanting to be work in the movie theater or work in the movie business. I mean, so you have to find people that want to be actors, for example, that also want to just kind of also learn their part of making or of acting. So then I want to be able to call that person very quickly and like, hey, I have this idea, I want to try it, let's go. It's no script, I'm just gonna, or it could be a script, but then the script has to be able, it probably should be a script, but it should be, then you should write a script that takes you 1 hour, no more, or it has to be able to be finished in 1 day. You have to be able to do the script in like 10 minutes. You can't do that, or 15 minutes. And then you have your location should not be difficult. You should not be like, because that's a huge problem I've had. Like, I want to have a good location but it's difficult to have a good location. So it has to be, I can record it here in the office that I'm in right now. And then record it. There's no reshoots. It's just first take. And then, so you might have like a preparation so you know what you're going to say and so forth. But it has to be so simple. So as you just record it, and then you edit it, and then you upload it to YouTube. less than 1 day. And then you're probably, if you're really starting out like I am, you'll probably not get any views. So in the beginning, you're gonna have to like look at yourself like, did this work? Nah, this is like if you don't even think it's interesting, like you don't want to watch this 1 minute long video, then you have to make another video. But the simple process of you have an idea in your head, which is always how it is. You have an idea in your head of a story you want to tell. If you can do this in the way that you have a story you want to tell, and you make a video, you upload to YouTube, you get feedback, you'll see from people, like, is this interesting? What are people commenting about? What is you can check metrics, like when do people skip watching the film because it's too boring? Check the likes, all the statistics. You have a lot of statistics to go after. It will be tough in the beginning, but you could be able to see it, this didn't work. So you will be able to be like the judge in the beginning. And also you could send it to people, like you could actually send it to people, your friends. Like, this is not interesting to watch. So, and then you just keep doing this, and you have to give it time. So that, and I'm gonna touch a little bit on that, because you have a concept now. If you don't want to do this, if you can't see yourself doing this for years, like Kubrick Barker, I think 5 years is kind of an interesting timeline. I think it could happen, of course, faster, but then you have to do a lot of volume. Then you have to make a lot of movies. It's just about it's about how fast you can see what needs to be learned, how fast you can learn and fix, and how much movies you make. So it's not like 5 years is a set time. It's just about how many movies can you make, the quantity that is, but still increasing quality every time and making it better and better. And if you can't see yourself, like if you go to Kubrick Barker's YouTube channel, I think he's posted 500 videos. I might be wrong. I might be switching up, but let's say he's posted 500 videos. If you can't see yourself doing a lot of videos like that, and for a long time struggling, like he has been struggling a lot. I think that his father kicked him out or something. I don't know. I don't want to say something that is not true, but I think that his father stopped giving them money, because I don't know exactly, but I just think, if I remember correctly, that he struggled a lot with like financial in the beginning of the years. And now he's very I think he's wealthy now, at least in the beginning of being wealthy. So I think that if you can't see yourself doing this for a long time, then you're doing the wrong thing. Because I think that Kubrick Barker has loved this journey. I think that in 5 years or in 10 years, he might even think that it was the most fun in the beginning, the first years. I'm confident in that prediction. Like in 5 years, he will probably think that the most fun times where there were no like money involved, it was just for fun. They were just his friends. They were just doing what they loved doing. And I think that's also super important. This is something that I myself has been really reflecting on a lot recently, because I made 2 short films and I'm like, do I want to do this? I think for me it's something I have to meditate on more, but I think that you have to really don't lie to yourself. That's what I want to tell you. Don't lie to yourself. And it's so easy to lie to yourself and tell people like, I really want to do this, but then you're in silence, you realize, in stillness, you like, I don't want to do this. Why am I saying this? It's because it's what I think people want to hear me say. You have to be 100% authentic with you and really look at what do you love doing. And this format right here is what I think I really love doing. I've done this before. I have made so many videos like this before, and this is what if you can keep doing something and you get 0 views, it's going to be a really good ending, I think, because this is for myself. If I can't see myself uploading videos on YouTube with getting 0 views and 0 like feedback, like it's super struggle for a long time, then I'm not doing the right thing. It's also like a common thing. If you're giving up, you are not doing what you're supposed or what you're meant to do. Kubrick Barker didn't give up because he loved doing what he was doing. It's the same thing. I think it was Michael Jordan who was asked, what is the secret to your success? And he said, falling in love with the game. This is a totally different topic, but it's the idea of following your excitement. You have to do things that makes you excited, that makes you curious, and and you can keep see yourself doing it for a long time. And I made these YouTube videos not because I know that I would hope that I will get views after this, because then I would give up very very quickly. I make these YouTube videos because I love talking like this, because it makes me reflect on myself, and I learn stuff about myself by talking. It makes me grow as a person. I'm better at speaking. There's so many things for me without any like views or comments that I get from doing this. Most of all, like I I grow as a person. It's because like it's almost like meditating or like praying or like reflecting on yourself, on your thoughts. It's just like meditations by Marcus Aurelius. You're kind of just yeah, I have thoughts right now about Kerr Barker which I really think a lot about, and I want to make this video and I want to talk about it because, and when I talk about it, I kind of get the fine. I kind of realized, okay, it's just like writing a diary. It's just like um, I don't know exactly how to put it. I hope you understand. But it's like I really um, there's something just talking like this and getting and it's like you really like get to I don't know how to explain it. It's just that by talking like this and reflecting on the ideas that you have or meditating on the ideas that you have, they kind of grow. They just grow and you grow and your mindset grow. You kind of just like a conversation. You kind of it forces you when you talk about something. It forces you to be able to get to a point, and I think that it makes you grow. That's what I think the core of what I'm saying. It makes you grow in your mindset and in your thoughts and your ideas and your like in your whole. It just makes you grow. That's why I make these YouTube videos, and I can see myself doing this for 500 days, one video every day, and I get 0 views on day 501, and I would still do it. It's because it's not about the views. I found a way where love what I'm doing. And I think that's actually the most important aspect of this video, because I think that this is not only applied to like videos on YouTube and Kerr Barker and like wanting to work in the movie industry. It's like anything at all you want to master. If you can't see yourself doing this for a long time, you are doing the wrong thing. And you can only ever know that by actually doing and then giving up. And if you don't even try, that's I rest my case, because that's even you don't even try to do it. It's probably it might be different, but just the idea of giving up. Yeah. So I think that's it for this video, guys. I think that I've articulated as good as I can the ideas I want with Kerr Barker, and I think it's the main idea I want you to take away in this video is, first of all, you have to get feedback and get a lot of feedback on YouTube. If you're gonna keep focus on the idea, like you want to make a movie, you want to become a movie director or a movie writer or whatever, you have to make a lot of movies. That is basically what Steven Spielberg said to the guy who made The Girl Next Door. He said, this was a great short film, man, but you have to make more movies, because by making more movies, it forces you to be real and humble, to see that you are not good at the craft yet, but you will be good when you make a lot of more movies and you get feedback. And that's the thing that separates YouTube from how, for example, you get so quickly feedback, so you can kind of accelerate the process of, you have an idea, you make it a movie, you upload it, you get feedback. And by speeding up this process so much, you can actually see it as a shortcut. From like before, you made a short film, it took a lot of time and it took a lot of money, and used to do some research into like how difficult it was to make a short film for like George Lucas in the 70s. In the 70s, it was super difficult and super expensive, and that's why he couldn't get so much feedback. So That's the main idea of this video. You want to do something for a long time, get feedback, you're going to get better at what you're doing. Kubrick is the evidence now that if you want your one-way ticket to Hollywood and you want a ticket quickly, you can do that today. You can start literally today by making a film. You take your phone, you record it. In the best case scenario is that it's a one-shot scene. You don't even have to edit it. You just pick up your phone and you do some scene, you upload it, and you're not gonna get any views, but you're gonna see it and you're gonna, okay, that did not work, I have to fix that. The next day you think about, okay, I have another idea I want to try. You film it, you don't edit anything, you upload it directly, and you say, I have to fix that now. You also see like the acting was not so good in this scene, and then you keep on doing this. If you do that and you don't give up, so basically you start today. You can start today. I could start now in this sofa and have my I could act something out. I could act like, I could act something, just something that's on my mind. I film it, I upload it, and if I then keep doing this every day and I learn and become better after every video, then I am on my way to my ticket to Hollywood. And if I give up, I'm doing something wrong. There's something that I'm doing wrong. And you have to be super honest with yourself. It's like, is this something you really want to do? Or is it an idea, a fantasy of you think you want to do it? I know that I am making these videos on YouTube right now, and I'm going to keep making them. And I know I won't give up. I won't give up because I've already done this before. So I know that I found my way to do something that I really like. Because it's not about the views. It's about me growing as a person and my ideas. And it's actually brilliant. And I think that I'm going to end this video now with this is actually a Dan Koh's idea. So go read his book, The Art of Focus. He basically talks about this. Dan Koh's idea is that the best way for people today, by far, if you don't want to code, you need leverage to make a lot of money. And there are two options, which is basically code or content. And he talks about like content being the best option out of code and I think that he says the content is better than code. I'm not sure, but I think so. I think content today is better opportunity than code is, because and it will be. Now I remember why, because code is so much simple. You can do it with AI today, so the competition is not as it was before. Like, you really have to be good at coding. Content is individual. Nobody can make a video like this but me, and I'm talking about, it's my mindset I'm sharing here. So it's just like nobody can. That's also why it makes it so interesting, because I'm the only person in the world that can make this video where I'm talking like and said what I've said today. I hope you understand by that what I mean by that. And so he talks about like doing this, but also like doing it when you're building something, so you actually have something to talk about. And that combination of you're building something and you're talking about it, you're gonna accelerate. And that's why I keep talking about growing. If for example, I'm working with sales, and if I'm talking about sales stuff, which I'm learning from doing, and I'm talking about it, it's like I'm speeding up. It's like a teacher. Teacher is the person who learns more than the student, because they have to talk about it, they have to articulate. Research about this, you will find that this is it's truth, that the teacher learns the most. It's not the student. And it forces you to think about what you're talking about, and to just be better at what you're doing. So if you combine those two things, like if I'm just I'm working a lot on sales, I'm doing a lot of outreach, and I'm talking about it, of the things I'm learning, and I'm also like reading books from people who is kind of standing on the shoulders of giants. These three things combined, the sky is the limit, my friend. And I'm doing it because I'm gonna finish it now. So if I'm selling, I'm doing outreach, and then I'm making videos about the things I'm learning. It could be about offer, it could be about product, it could be about sales calls, about outreach, or about the product. And then I talk about it, and I kind of become better at what I'm talking about. So it might be a problem that I have, and then by talking about it, I solve the problem just by talking about it. And then I go home and I read some books about, and not specifically about sales. it's more about building your mindset, which is the video I made before this. So then I read to build my mindset, to be even more ready to like step into a new paradigm of like making more money than before. This three things, it's the best thing that you can do in 2026. I believe by far, 100%. Like you just have to look at people like Kubrick proves the content making part and is doing a lot of it and becoming better. And reading Sam Ovens proves that. And then doing it, I mean, Elon Musk proves it. So there are many examples that proves what I'm telling you. These three things. So I'm very tired now. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you learned something from this video, and I'll see you in the next one.